Hello my crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. Today we're doing something a little different. We're not going to be creating, but we're going to be setting the stage for creating later. So it's summertime, people are on the go, day trips, road trips, and sometimes you've got a little bit of downtime or there's a rainy day or a too hot day, you just want to have something to do for yourself or maybe for the kids that you're traveling with if you're traveling with them. So yeah, here's a few ideas for that. Now, Paper Pumpkin is the ultimate crafting kit. It's a subscription. You can get it monthly, 3, 6, or 12 months. Every kit comes with at least one ink spot. This one, the Expressions in Ink, came with 2. Now I'm not going to be putting this together today, but I will be doing it later in the week on Wednesday for my Facebook Live. You get a stamp set, and with your very first kit, you get a block that fits every stamp for subsequent kits. And you also get a little packet with everything you need to create the cards shown. So there's adhesive envelopes, the card bases, the die cuts, any twine or ribbon or bling is included in there. So I'm just going to set this aside because you can create your own crafting to-go kit. Now this does involve a little bit of repurposing. Now you can use anything that you have in your own craft space. Before we moved back west, we did a road trip every summer. So I would pack up a bunch of stuff. Mine usually ended up being like a Rubbermaid tote. But last summer we did some beach trips and I wasn't able to go into the water. So I created a couple of these, so that I could craft and watch my family play in the water. And it's super versatile. So I have an empty Paper Pumpkin box. Now you can disassemble it, turn it inside out so it's just the brown that's showing. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. Now what I like to put in my kit, and this does give you a little bit of versatility as well, and you can use the packaging that some of your Stampin' Up! Stuff comes in, like the bling packets, the ribbon, the zipper seal envelopes can be used to store all of the little bits and pieces. So I like to, when I have those weird little scraps that are like maybe an inch or 2, I like to take punches or dies and cut out as many shapes as I can for use on future projects. So I love the sprig punch. It's so useful and so versatile. So I've punched out a bunch of those. I'm just going to put them in my box. And cardstock for card mats. Now, I just grabbed a bunch of colors from the 2021 to 2023 in color pack because that's what coordinates with the designer series paper that I've chosen. Glue dots. These are from old Paper Pumpkin kits. So there's actually 2 sizes that I've got, a smaller one and a larger one. So those are going to go in there. Now, I've taken some of the Pansy designer series paper and I cut 6x6 pieces, and then I cut them down further. So the pieces that I have were a 6x6 piece. So I just cut it at 5 1/4. So this is 5 1/4. This one is 2 inches and this one is 4 inches. So it'll fit on my mat. So I can do this. I can take this piece and run it this way. I can cut this piece again into 2 3-inch strips or whatever you want, and just go ahead. And you might want to take a small trimmer with you or a pair of scissors just to cut this strip down depending on how you want it placed on your card. But this has given me a lot of options for anything that I might want to create. So I've got all of my designer series paper pieces here. Now, depending on what you have, you obviously will need some sort of adhesive. So you can either use your Stampin' Seal, oops, take some of the multi-liquid glue or the clear fine tip glue pen. That would work as well. So I'm just going to stick this in here. Scissors. These are the smallest scissors in the history of the world. They're amazing for fussy cutting. These have traveled the country with me. I absolutely love them. Now the Stampin' Up! Snips are fabulous for fussy cutting as well. So scissors are important to put into your packet. You could also do some ribbon or some twine, something to add a little bit of interest and dimension. Now, ink is a requirement. Depending on how much space you have and what you want to do, I would suggest Memento. This can be used with blends. It's not spectacular with the watercolor pencils or the Stampin' Write markers because it's water-based and it could potentially run. But if you're really careful, it can work. The ideal for anything that you're using water with, though, would be the StazOn ink. But this will do in a pinch, but just again, there is a possibility that the black might bleed into the color that you're trying to use. The other thing that I've done is I already stamped and die cut the Many Messages stamp set, and I used the die as well. So I've got tons of sentiments ready to go. I'm just going to pop these guys out. Now, there's shapes in here too. There's the star, the flower, the heart, and that is to help you line up the die with your stamp set so that it cuts out perfectly and doesn't cut off any of the words. So I've got these guys already done. So sentiments already stamped, all ready to go. But if you're not sure what you want to have your cards for, you can leave it until you get home and stamp it. Or you can take a stamp set like Many Mates. It's got tons of options. And I would use, which block is this? The C block, because it will fit every sentiment in here. So you've got the larger ones for the outside of the card, and then the smaller ones for either layering or the inside. So I'm going to put my block in and my stamp set in. And then I'm just going to push these guys in there as well. Okay. Bling. It's a thing. It's a requirement. So a packet of rhinestones, of the basic pearls, of anything really can add just that little bit of extra dimension and sparkle into your card. So that goes into my travel kit as well. And then also you can grab, if you want to take ink with you, but you're not sure what color you might want, you can take a selection of the markers. The markers are amazing because you can actually color directly on the stamp. And then you can have a selection of colors. You can color your images with them. You can add a little bit of just detail with the fine tip. You can just add a little bit of detail around the edges or a little bit of color here and there. If you wanted to color your gems to coordinate with your paper, you can do that as well, but that will require the Stampin' Blends. All you need to do is grab the brush tip. You can see I've already colored this one here. Brush it a couple of times, let it dry for a few seconds, and then the color on here is permanent. So there's just some tips and ideas of what you can put into a traveling craft kit. I have also done up a blog post and it is referenced down below. So be sure to click that to get some more ideas. Don't forget the envelopes as well, because if you're going to be handing them out or mailing them out while you're on your trip, envelopes are always a good thing. Stamps if you're staying in your home country. If you're traveling abroad, you'll have to visit a local post office, which can be a fun and cool experience as well. So if you have any questions, as always, you can reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below so you're notified every time a brand new video comes up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.